Hey, what's up guys? If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. If you've been here since day one, I am so grateful that you're still here up to now watching my videos, no matter how cringy or whack or weird or really all the above at times. But as you can see that I took like a break of not filming a YouTube video, considering my last two videos was me reacting to the last two episodes of the last season of season 6 of Supergirl. So now I'm back. Thank God I took that break because I needed to do that. My sleeping schedule and me waking up early and doing whatever I needed to do to try to get myself back into filming again was like way off. So thank God it went back as it is. And as you can see, I am like sort of like have makeup on, and I use black shadow. Of course, every time when I'm gonna dress up or when I'm about to film a video, I usually like to match the eyeshadow to the outfit, but sometimes I like to just put a different color and not wear eyeshadow at all. But as you can see, I have like a high ponytail here. It's something new. I haven't done any new hairstyles like this. Well, it's not like a new hairstyle, I know. And from what you see in my other pictures on my Instagram account and stuff until recently. And so the one new thing I have done this past month, or the end of, or the last week of November, was using one of my Instagram accounts that I haven't barely used on my main phone and turn it into like a cosplaying account. And as you can see, I don't know much about how to cosplay and how cosplay works and stuff, so I'm just doing it in my own way, little by little. And I hope you guys enjoy my cosplaying journey as it starts and goes on. But I am going to tell you who I'm cosplaying as. I am cosplaying as Elena Gilbert and Stephen Salvatore's daughter. I use the name Rosalie Marie Gilbert Salvatore, but you can call me Rosa or Rose, however you prefer to, call me. So it's something new. I haven't done it before, but I'm really excited to see how much growth I'm gonna have in this cosplaying journey. Hopefully it's gonna be fun, hopefully. So for today's video, I'm gonna say interview. For today's video, I'm gonna be reacting to Mansfield Park. If you don't know Mansfield Park, Joseph Morgan is in Mansfield Park, the 2007 version, but I'm gonna be watching two different versions of Mansfield Park, one from 1999 and one from 2007. And of course, I'm gonna give you guys a little heads up. I have already watched Mansfield Park, the 07 version, the 2007 version already. I watched it like, I don't know, like 6-8 times already, and I love it. But you're about to see, but I wanted to show my reactions on me watching those two different versions of the movie for you guys to see. And I know you're gonna already know which version is my favorite. Obviously, I already just said it. But I thought it would be a nice, cute little video for me to do, is for you to see how I react again to the 2007 version of Mansfield Park and the 1999 version of Mansfield Park. But if some of you already watched the 07 version with Joseph Morgan in it, then you know what I'm talking about. But I am so excited to do this. I've been wanting to do this since this week started, so I'm so excited. But before I start the next clip for this video, I'm gonna show you one of the necklaces I got from Etsy from the Originals and Legacy world. Obviously, it's more like in the Originals, you would notice it. So I got this Michelson crest necklace, the one that Hope Michelson wears in, I think, season 5, and the one that Rebecca gave Freya to give to Hope when her and Elijah Michelson and Klaus and Cole had to like stay away from New Orleans in order to protect Hope and stuff because they had the hollow remnants in each of them. So this is the necklace. I do have Haley's necklace, and I think the wishbone is Freya's, I believe, or I forgot who the wishbone necklace was from. But yeah, I have all three of them. I love it. I'm still waiting on this de la Fleur, I think that's how you say it, necklace that Klaus wears on the show. I'm still waiting for it to come into the mail. It hasn't come in yet, but I'm so excited to wear it once it comes in. And yeah, I guess that's it for this first part of the video. But as you can see, I'm wearing a Chanel shirt and I'm wearing black jeans and my cheetah print heels, and I won't be having my phone holder holding my phone while I'm reacting to the two versions of the movie Mansfield Park. It broke. I don't know why it broke. Well, I know why it broke. It fell down on the floor, and for some reason I tried to like fix it to get it back to where it can hold my phone again, but it's not working. So I'm gonna have to find a way how to make my phone like stand like this while filming myself reacting to the Mansfield Park of the two versions of it. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say in this first part. So I'll see you in the next clip of this video when I start reacting. Of course, I might be like sort of like eating breakfast or snacking on one of my snacks throughout the entire video of me reacting to Mansfield Park. But hey, who doesn't like to have a snack once while watching a movie that you're reacting to or that you're seeing again or seeing for the first time again? So yeah, so I'll see you in the next clip. Bye. See ya.
Cargo.
That cargo?
Right. Slaves. Maybe some captain or heroic ship doctor brought over a few darkies as gifts for the wife. Well, get on there.
Gather up the children. Now, let us have a look at you. Well, I'm sure you have other qualities. Sir Thomas, he's here. Are you in charge?
Hello, fella.
Hello, Sir Thomas. I can augur nothing but misery from all I have seen at Mansfield Park.
Don't worry. I'm all for crying. Makes your hair grow.
Don't make fun of me.
Is it working? My behaviour? Is it making you feel better?
It's certainly distracting.
Good. Anyway, I'm Edmund. So, who do you miss?
I told Edmund about you especially, Susie. He asked me if I wished to write to you, and I said I had no paper. And didn't he give me enough? for more letters and stories than you shall ever want to receive. I have 2 young sons.
What?
She intends to live in the gardens. I'll keep you abreast of any further development.
Animation, not to mention alacrity.
I might need the rest of the morning to recover.
Thomas looks like he's bored out of his mind.
Pastor Mike sluggish.
Mr. Rushworth, if you please.
Oh wait, that's Mr. Rushworth. I can't believe I thought that was Thomas.
Well,
I like them both exceedingly. And I like the better for it. An engaged woman is always more agreeable than a disengaged. She is satisfied with herself. Her cares are over, and she feels she may exert all her powers of pleasing without suspicion. All is safe with the lady engaged. No harm can be done.
you allow yourself great latitude.
There could be no harm in my liking an agreeable man. Everybody knows my situation. Must you always win? Even when you already have your prize? Julia, there will be little rubs and disappointments every other month. Scheme of happiness fails. Human nature turns to another. Are you married?
Tom! Well, is there war? Where's Sir Thomas? What news? Edmund, come quickly.
Family. Don't act yourself if you do not like it, but please, don't try to govern everybody else. All settled then? Good!
What? What's the matter? I was not asleep.
Oh, no. No, of course not, Ma'am. No one suspected you.
To enlist Charles Maddox to play Anholt. He's about as discreet as the town crier.
So this is where you hide. Badly. I need some rehearsing. Would you mind? Oh. Oh, Mr. Bertram. Hello. Of herself.
Upon reconsideration, I cannot help but think that...
movements. And intelligent as well. But you know, strangely, two mulattoes can never have children. They're like mules in that respect.
I have it. A ball at Mansfield Park, in honor of Fanny. We shall bring her out and introduce Miss Fanny Price to society. Surely some young man of good standing will sit up and take notice.
I'm certain she will glide about with quiet, light elegance in an admirable time.
You must excuse me. I think I have something. Excuse me.
It needn't be a large affair, just a little few ladies.
Imbecile.
Oh, but imbecility in women is a great enhancement to their personal charms.
Fanny, you're being irrational.
Yet another adornment. I must be ravishing.
Fanny, you really must begin to harden yourself to the idea of being worth looking at.
Aww.
She is witty and bright, and I dare say not without worth.
And how might you measure that worth, Father?
Oh, you need not impress me with your purity. The family is well established, it is well known.
The prices.
The Crawfords, Edmund. I meant the Crawfords. Mary Crawford.
Not down to Weezy. Oh shit.
It is a comfort to think that you will never leave us.
Selfishness must always be forgiven, you know, because there's no hope of a cure.
Really?
She speaks it. It grieves me to the soul.
The effect of education, perhaps.
Perhaps like an uneducated. Fanny, would that more women were like you. I love you more than words can say. I demand the first dance at the ball tomorrow.
dance like an angel, Fanny Price.
It's not dance like an angel alone, Mr. Crawford.
What? A compliment? But heavens rejoice, she complimented me.
Complimented your dancing, Mr. Crawford. Keep your wiggle.
Oh my gosh, she has two men looking at her right now. Love that.
It's time, Sir Thomas. He loves you, Fanny Price. If any man ever loved a woman forever, I think Henry would do as much for you.
We all know Edmund does not want that. But he can't say anything.
I want to feel myself the equal of those that surround me.
Who's it from?
Probably Edmund. Oh, fun.
Oh, hello. I'm Fanny Price.
Are you sure? Because I don't get paid if you're not.
Yes, I'm sure I'm Fanny Price.
All right, then. Stay back.
Oh my god, it's a firework! And music! Papa, who? I swear. Oh my gosh, and white doves, yes! That's what I love about that. If it's from Edmund, oh my gosh. He gained more points with me here. But if it's not, and it's just Henry, I don't know how I would feel about that. But oh my gosh, that's like a lot of doves.
Sorry, I do not know to what you're referring.
I don't know why I did that sound, but that's how you use it. Yeah.
Tell me, what is the news of Mansfield? How's everyone?
Everyone being Edmund.
No.
Houses here, sir. The others would be well cared for.
It is a generous offer.
Well, the first of many, I hope.
Poverty frightens me. And a woman's poverty is a slavery even more harsh than a man's.
Arguable. But it need not be your lot.
I know.
Spend your days in comfort. With me.
I know.
Fanny,
Oh, this is my favorite part.
come.
It's Edmund.
I've come to take you back to Mansfield. You're needed there.
What's happened?
Tom was celebrating in Newmarket and fell ill. And the group of young men he was travelling with left him behind to recover with Yates, who then deserted him as well. He was found alone, almost dead 2 days ago. The situation is very grave. We must hurry. If you wish to, that is. I missed you.
And are you?
Listen. What? What's wrong? What?
Ooh, and he's mad. Edmund's mad. I think he's thinking in his head, like, why would Henry try to go after Fanny? Like, try to, like, fancy her and stuff. To the point where he ends up sleeping with his little sister. Like, okay. And I love how he's supporting Fanny. Like, she did not deserve that. Like, honestly. Are they gonna
Sorry. confess something? I've loved you all my life.
I know, Edmund.
No, Fanny. As a man loves a woman. As a hero loves a heroine. As I've never loved anyone in my entire life. I was so anxious to do what is right that I forgot to do what is right. But if you choose me, after all my blundering and blindness, will be a happiness which no description could reach. But you'd get to keep 10% of the profits. Now, I was thinking of a title. Effusions of Fancy by a very young girl in a style entirely new. What do you think?
That's very interesting.
Hey guys, I want to come here and explain why I'm doing this video. So I did the first take to do my reaction for the Mansfield Park 1999 version of the movie and the Mansfield Park Part 2 to 2007 version, but it was so long that I had to like come on here and do a take 2 of it and redo the whole reaction last part of the video thing. So here we go. So in both Mansfield Park movies, the different versions, the beginning is like similar in a way where we do see Fanny come in to Mansfield Park for the first time to live with her family, her aunts, uncle, and cousins, because her mom couldn't take care of her anymore, wasn't able to, I mean. But in this version it's different. Fanny comes to Mansfield Park like hours earlier before she's supposed to be there, but she meets her Aunt Norris, her Uncle Sir Thomas, and her cousin, and her Aunt Lady Bertram, and her cousins Julia and Mariah. But when she got there, like after the introduction and seeing the whole scene and stuff, Mrs. Norris shows her to her room, but then after whatever they talked about a little bit, Mrs. Norris leaves, and we see Fanny going to sit down on the floor, and she starts crying, and we see Edmund coming in, and he introduces himself, and he tries to make her feel better because he saw how sad she was looking and that she was crying, which I love that. I love how caring he wanted of a cousin he was. And finally we end up seeing the growth of Fanny since she got there, like from when she was like 12 years old and when she was an adult. And I love her and Edmund's bond here. Like, it progressed and it grew into something different, but it went upside down the minute the Crawfords came into their lives. And of course, when they came in, the room was quiet, and Mrs. Norris was just introducing everyone to the Crawfords. And of course, when they were walking towards them, Edmund gets off from his chair and gives his seat to Mary, and of course, and they talk and stuff. And then later down, we see them all like getting to know one another. But the one thing I didn't like is that Fanny was there to be at Lady Bertram's side in their in the room that had the pool table at, the one that's is like next door to Sir Thomas's office. And you know, Henry was just asking Fanny something and stuff. And at this point, I guess Mrs. Norris didn't like that Henry and Fanny was talking, so she tells Fanny to go get something, leave the room and go get something. And I kind of felt bad for her like that. Like, she was just minding her business and she was just voicing whatever her opinion was on whatever her and Henry was talking. And at this point, Lady Bertram wakes up and asks for Fanny again. And honestly, I felt so bad because Fanny was doing okay where she was at and stuff. And then they do, both movies, they do the same play and stuff. But the one thing I didn't like about in this movie was the Sir Thomas character story in this version, where so the Sir Thomas character version in the 1999 movie is totally different from the 2007 version, because in this 1999 version of Mansfield Park, Sir Thomas, tells Fanny that he's gonna free the slaves and stuff. He's trying to do that. They're on Antigua now, remember? I don't know why I just mentioned that. But instead, so I explain why I don't like that part. So, of course, we see the Crawfords and the Bertram and Fanny getting to know each other and stuff. We see Mariah and Henry getting closer and stuff. But the one thing I didn't like was that, well, I'll get to that. So, of course, Sir Thomas noticed something different with Fanny, like her looks changed, her figure changed, and then he mentions he's going to throw her a ball for her outcoming to society, but Edmund already knew what was going to happen after Fanny left the room. He went to go after her and talk to her about it, and she said that she doesn't want to be part of being sold to anyone and stuff. And of course, at this point, Edmund's like, what if it's not something about being sold to someone? What if it's about everyone admiring your looks and stuff and admiring you for who you are? And she didn't hear it to the point where she was gonna feel like Edmund was talking about himself, because she already went riding off into wherever she was riding off on the horse. But eventually she came back, but after Edmund's talk with his father, but he didn't know his father was talking about the Crawfords because he brought up the prices. And of course, at this point, the father didn't even know or had an inkling of why Edmund brought up Fanny's family. And then we see we see more to what happens, where we see Henry, we see Sir Thomas going to Fanny's room and telling her that how much he is proud of her, how much he loves her, and that him and Henry talk, and that Henry has asked him for his blessing for her hand in marriage, and he accepted it, but Fanny didn't. And of course, Fanny couldn't tell him why she didn't want to marry him, so she had to she had to say something else. And she said she doesn't trust. She said something that's in a similar way of saying that she can't trust Henry. And of course, Sir Thomas asked her, "Do you trust me?" And I think she said yes. And then he said, "I trust Henry," and stuff. And at this point, I don't think he cared about his niece's happiness in a way. And she said she can't make him happy and stuff. But then we see him talking to her about it more and more and more. And finally, we see her, Lady Bertram, Sir Thomas, Edmund, Mary, and Mrs. Norris in the room. And of course, they keep thinking that what if they gave Henry more time to convince Fanny to accept this proposal, but it didn't work, and Mary's trying to do the same thing. And of course, at this point, the uncle told Fanny what if he sent her back home, where she doesn't where the attributes of living a rich life or whatever won't get in the way of, and stuff. But that still didn't change her mind. She still went. But then Edmund asked her, "Do you think that you should actually go back home?" And she said yes, she missed home and stuff. But at this point, that was her reason to go back home, because she missed her family. But the other reason was that she didn't want to stay in Mansfield Park, where she would have people go down her throat about having her actually accepting Henry's proposal. But Edmund didn't like that his dad was gonna send her back home, because their goodbyes was a little sad. I really don't like seeing them saying goodbye to each other like that. And then finally we see her home in Portsmouth, and of course we see her mother for the first time. That's different because in the 2007 version of Mansfield Park, we don't see the mother at all, or her other siblings, just her older brother. And in this 1999 version of Mansfield Park, we don't see the brother. I don't think they have the William character in this movie, but we did see her sister Susan, that I think she calls Susie. And then we, so she gets like settled into her home and stuff. Then finally, these two boys brings like this crate and stuff. Asked her if she's actually Fanny Price. She said yes. And one of the boys lights the firecrackers, and it like does fireworks. And then one of them let like this crate open, and all the doves came out. And of course, her family was wondering who sent that to her, and I think Susan, her sister, knew who it was from, because the next day we see them, I think, coming out from church and stuff, and we see Henry, and Henry introduced himself to the Prices. And then that's when we see Henry and Fanny getting reacquainted with each other for a while. But I love how Henry was there to be the emotional support for her when she read one of Edmund's letters saying that he probably can consider Mary being his wife. But we finally see her actually accepting Henry's proposal. But then, and then Henry was so happy that he kissed her. They kissed, and he spins her and then kisses her again. But then we see her the next day having a bad dream, and of course Henry was trying to celebrate their engagement with Fanny. But Fanny didn't want that. She just didn't feel right doing that, so she had to tell him stop, and went on and tell her that she can't fully accept the proposal from Henry. And of course, at this point, Henry is already like done with trying to convince Fanny. But honestly, and he got mad at her. So that's the difference between this Henry and the 2007 version of Mansfield Park Henry. He yells at her, and then he tells her that she's gonna live in Portsmouth forever, and then he leaves. But then after that, we see Edmund coming. Of course, I don't think her mom knew how Edmund looked at this point, because I don't know if they ever met him and the others before. But Edmund comes, and of course Fanny asked him why he was there. He explains what happened to his brother, and that he's fatally ill, and that she should come back and stuff. But he didn't say there was another reason why she should come back. And of course she did go with Edmund back to Mansfield Park. But through their entire ride home, her and Edmund got to talk, and Edmund got to ask her, was Henry attentive to her? Has her feelings for him changed? Because I guess he wanted a little hope that he still had a chance with Fanny. And she said many times it has changed, and he said, I miss you. And she said, I do you. And their hands touch, and then they hold hands. And of course, the one thing I did love about Mary Crawford is that she already instantly knew that Edmund loved Fanny more than a cousin, but as like someone that he can have a romantic relationship with. But then finally, like hours after they got back from Mansfield Park, like later in the night, Fanny woke up from her sleep in her bedroom, and because she heard a noise, she went to go check down in Mariah's room from where the sound came from. And of course, at this point, she catches Henry and Mariah naked in her bed and stuff, and she was like just so distraught, so upset that she went to the next room where Thomas was at, and Edmund came to her aid and asked her what happened. Of course, she's so shocked she can't say anything. And so he went to the next room, and of course, I think when he saw Henry shirtless but with his still his pants on, I think he instantly knew something happened between him and his sister, because when he went into the room, he saw Mariah naked but covered with her blanket and of course her sheets. And of course, Mariah had the audacity of saying that, "Don't look at me like that, Edmund. Don't blame me. My life with Mr. Rushworth wasn't like the best or whatever and stuff." She was making an excuse for herself, and she said she couldn't get out of it. And of course, at this point, Edmund's just mad that her sister would do that to her husband, hurt him like that and stuff. But most importantly, was mad that Henry would go through the trouble to try to get close to Fanny and try to get Fanny close to him and accept his proposal. And right when Fanny ends their engagement, he goes and have sexual relations with his sister Mariah, who's a married woman. And so he goes back to the next room. He hugs Fanny, but of course at this point he lifts her face up to look at her, and when he asked her if she was okay. But I think Fanny felt like they were gonna kiss, and they were going in for a kiss until he left and said sorry. And then the next day we see Mr. Rushworth coming in because he knew Mariah was there, but he came with a news reporter because he wanted him to write an article about the garden there and stuff. But he found out that Mariah's scandal of her cheating on him with Henry and stuff. So that's what they wrote about. And he has Edmund where they were, but Edmund didn't know, which obviously is true because he didn't see them leave. But then the next day or later down the day, we see Mary, Edmund, Sir Thomas, and Lady Bertram and Mrs. Lawrence there, and of course, and Fanny. And of course, Sir Thomas asked Fanny to read the newspaper, and they found out what Mr. Rushworth wrote about Mariah and Henry. And of course, Mary had the audacity to say that they have to grieve and move on what happened between what Mary and Henry did, but that they should move on and stop planning parties and whatnot. And of course, Edmund didn't like that, and of course, he also didn't like that Mary was getting on Fanny's nerves and stuff, and he told her that she's not the person he thought she was, and that he doesn't wish to know her more. And of course, at this point, Mary knew that her relationship with Edmund is over, and she has not been seen after that. And of course, we see Fanny doing a voiceover of what happened with the Crawfords and her cousins. So she said that Mary and Henry found someone that has the same similarities as them, and that Mariah and Henry didn't get married, but Mariah's living in like a cottage of one of their family's cottage or something. But Mrs. Norris went to go tend to her, and then we see them coming to Fanny and Edmund's part, and of course Edmund's trying to confess his feelings for Fanny, but Fanny thinks that he's just saying "I love you" as like what cousins would do. But at this point, he finally said that like a man will love a wife, and that's when she instantly knew that Edmund felt the same. And then Edmund tells her if she takes him, if she forgives him for his blunderness and his blindness, that he'll make her happy and stuff. And they kiss, and then they hug, and then they kiss again. And of course, we see Lady Bertram and Sir Thomas go to Julia, Susan, and Thomas. But then after they like all sit and got to their positions, they were all looking out to sky or somewhere, and I'm like, what are they looking at? And I'm like, oh my gosh, that really annoyed me at this point because I didn't know what they were looking at. But if they had to like look up in the sky or whatever for in their like mark, then that's like amazing because they did it on point. And then we see Edmund and Fanny going to their cottage, and at this point we didn't know they got married or not because they didn't show they did, which that's one thing that's also another thing that I didn't like about the 1999 version of Mansfield Park, because we didn't see Edmund and Fanny get married, and also because the worst part I didn't like was the Sir Thomas storyline here. Like the rest I was like sort of fine with, I didn't care much about it, but the only thing I didn't like was the freeing of the slaves part. Like I thought he was gonna go free the slaves, but instead that's the part I didn't like in the movie when Thomas, the eldest son, was fatally ill, where Fanny found his sketchbook with the sketches that Thomas sketched of what his father did with the slaves and what his people did with the slaves. And of course Fanny didn't like that. She was like flipping through it, and she was feeling more and more sick of seeing this and upset and stuff. But you know, that scary moment or that upset moment, music comes up more and more, where we see Sir Thomas coming in, and of course he looked so pissed and stuff. He didn't think that Fanny was gonna find out what he actually did, and of course he tried to like cover it up that wasn't true, and he takes the sketchbook out of Fanny's hands and throw it into the fireplace and said that his son was a madman. But I was just sitting there watching that part. I was like saying to myself, like, your son's not a madman. If he sketched those, that means he witnessed and saw what you did to those people who didn't deserve that kind of treatment from you, and he wasn't a madman for catching you in your worst bad decision you just did. And of course at this point Fanny did not know what to think of her uncle, but she had to like play it cool and stuff, and I don't think she told Edmund. And other than that, and also the difference between the Crawfords, Henry and Mary Crawfords from this movie and the 2007 version movie is that this Henry and Mary Crawford knew that Edmund and Fanny was in love with each other before Edmund knew that they were in love with each other. And yeah, I guess that's it. And yeah, I guess that's it. So I hope you guys understand with what I was saying so fast. I had to say it fast. I didn't want this to be long. So I hope you guys love my part 1 reaction to the 1999 version of Mansfield Park. I hope you guys go on and watch part 2 of Mansfield Park, to the 2007 version of my reaction and stuff, because I hope it's interesting for you guys to watch it. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, tap the notification bell to always be notified, because videos are coming just very late for some reason. So I really hope you guys understand what I was saying, and you know, so time for me to go react for part 2 of Mansfield Park, the 2007 version. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.